On WhatsApp, he said he was wowed by Skype when he first used it in 2006, saying it felt like magic. In later years, though, he says it became much less accessible. As a blind user, Jeff used a screen reader to help him navigate. But he says it will still be missed. Thanks, Jeff, as always. We've also been hearing from lots of listeners about everyday tech they can't do without. A really popular one is something to help quieten the outside world from time to time. Sandy Story lives in Ankara in Turkey, and he says he has active noise-cancelling headphones. He told us on WhatsApp, where I live, there's some road traffic, and I find it soothing to put on my headphones and cancel out background noise late in the evening or when I take a stroll around the block. This helps create some inner peace. Something we can all do with Sandy, I think. Thanks for your message. And I had to get this one in from another listener, Jeff, who's in China. He says his life has been regulated for 43 years by his Casio digital watch. He's only had to replace it once in all that time. He says, I couldn't have kept up a lifetime of punctuality and reliability without it. Well, as a proud owner of the same model myself, Jeff, there's that familiar sound. I couldn't agree more. These things are basically indestructible. So tell us about your essential everyday tech. We're on WhatsApp on +44 330 1230 320, or email us on techlife@bbc.co.uk. Still to come, the Big Tech Bus Stop Backstreet Solution.
It's awareness. It's an advertising tool, but it can really alert you and give you red flags that something is maybe wrong and that you should go for a professional physiotherapist checkup.
Cuts to foreign aid from the US Agency for International Development, or USAID, continues.
The shortwave unleashed by the Trump administration's decision to freeze billions of dollars in foreign aid are still being felt as countries reliant on the money consider what to do next. The money went to funding health and education, and it has been a mainstay for many countries for many years. That's all gone now. So what next?
That was the BBC's Focus on Africa a couple of months ago. And in Ghana, what next was finding another way to transport medicines and vaccines around the country. So the Ghanaian government scaled up an existing deal it had with a drone company called Zipline. That's meant medical shipments, which were being done by USAID-funded trucks, are now being transported by autonomous drones across the country. Over the past 2 months, Zipline has increased operations in Ghana by up to 50%. I spoke to head of Zipline Ghana, Daniel Kwaku Murky, and asked him to start by explaining what the company does.
Zipline is a global company operating currently in 7 countries. In Ghana, we have been operating since 2019. We have been working very closely with the Ministry of Health, with the Ghana Health Service, through our system, which I would describe as a piece of infrastructure that combines centralized warehousing with aerial logistics. Work initially under vaccines. During COVID, we flew a significant amount of COVID vaccines into hard-to-reach remote areas across Ghana.
How big are your drones, and how far can they go? How far can you get them?
Yeah, it's like they can fly maximum 250 kilometers, but normally what we do is maybe around, let's say, 110-kilometer radius and then back. And I think in areas like in Ghana where you have like remote areas with access challenges from being on an island towards road networks and everything, it really makes it accessible within 15 to 45 minutes, irrespective of where you are. I mean, we deliver things like snake anti-venom, for instance. So that is something that can be stored across all small health facilities and is really an emergency product.
And is it just medical supplies you move around, or is it other products as well?
I mean, in Ghana, it's really dominantly medical supplies, but there's other opportunities. And we even recently had the Minister for Innovation in Ghana at our distribution center, and he spoke about expansion into agricultural use cases. So we are really looking into that as well in Ghana.
What are some of the technological challenges that you face by running the infrastructure on the ground and also the distribution?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely challenges in the sense that we have to really optimize it for the respective medical commodities. So for instance, as an example, we flew the Pfizer vaccine, so we had to collaborate with them in order to, like, not just how it is stored, but how it is packaged during the flight. And I mean, we drop it off with a parachute to ensure, yes, it doesn't shake too much, everything is in accordance. So we really test for all the products that we have and ensure that storage is optimized during the flight process is optimized. But then when you think about it from a system level, I mean, having a centralized warehouse gives that we have the opportunity to really store all those products at the best possible conditions versus having like different health facilities in rural areas, in remote areas that cannot have like the full infrastructure. So it's really an opportunity to actually, in quotes, circumvent the challenges in terms of storage.
USAID cut a lot of its services overseas in the last couple of months. How has that affected your business? Have things changed since then?
Once the stop order came, there were challenges, especially in the northern, the northeastern, and the eastern regions. And so Zipline stepped in to support those regions. So we basically picked up those deliveries in those three regions and delivered them at no incremental cost to government. So we executed that under our existing contract. So definitely there were challenges, but on the other hand, because there was